Have you ever wondered why gold is still such a big deal, even in 2025? I mean, it's just gold, right? But somehow, it's been the go-to asset for investors for centuries, and it's still going strong. So, what's driving gold this year? Will it keep rising, or will it fall flat? In this video, I'm breaking down everything you need to know about the gold market in 2025. Whether you're already invested or just thinking about it, stick around. There's a lot to unpack here, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to watch for in the gold market. Alright, first things first, the big one. Global recession risks. Yikes, right? The IMF has warned that global growth is going to slow down even further this year. And when major economies like Germany and the UK are flirting with the idea of a recession, it's like the world's economic roller coaster is about to hit a serious dip. But here's the thing, when things go south economically, people tend to flock to safe haven assets like gold. Why? Because gold doesn't lose its value the way stocks do when the market crashes. Think about it like this, when the world is in chaos, gold is like the trusty umbrella that keeps you dry. It's the only thing that seems to stay solid when everything else is falling apart. For example, during the 2008 financial crisis, when the stock market tanked, gold actually went up. So with a potential global recession in 2025, expect a lot of people to move their investments into gold to hedge against economic uncertainty. In short, gold is the financial equivalent of a comfort blanket. Next up, the US dollar. In case you haven't noticed, the dollar's been losing steam lately, and it's expected to continue its decline through 2025. That's mostly because the Federal Reserve is expected to keep cutting interest rates. Now, you might be thinking, wait, what does this have to do with gold? Well, here's the deal. When the dollar weakens, gold tends to get stronger. It's like this perfect little dance that the two do, and gold always benefits when the dollar stumbles. Let's put it this way. If you're living in Europe, Asia, or anywhere outside of the US, when the dollar falls, you're getting more gold for your money. So, if you're an investor in emerging markets, the weaker dollar makes gold a more attractive asset. Just think about it. When your local currency is stronger compared to the dollar, gold becomes more affordable, and you're more likely to buy it. Historically, whenever the dollar drops, gold tends to rise. And that's exactly what we're looking at in 2025. Now let's talk about the central banks. Yeah, the big players in the financial world. These guys are still buying gold, and not just a little bit, they're actually loading up on it, and they're expected to keep doing so in 2025. Why? Simple. Central banks have realized that gold is a reliable, non-correlated asset to the US dollar and other fiat currencies. Over 70% of central banks worldwide consider gold to be an essential part of their reserves, and it's becoming more and more popular as a hedge against currency risk. Look at China, Russia, and even India. They're all stockpiling gold. For example, in 2024, China's central bank added 103 tons of gold to its reserves. That's a lot of shiny metal. Why are they doing this? Because they know that gold isn't going to lose its value overnight, unlike their local currency or, honestly, the dollar. Central bank demand is one of the biggest drivers of gold's price, and that trend is expected to continue in 2025. Let's talk a bit about inflation now. Inflation is basically the silent price driver of gold. It's like that sneaky little creature that keeps popping up at the worst times. While inflation is expected to moderate in 2025, it's still likely to hover above central banks' target levels. And let's be real, when inflation is high, the value of your money drops, and that's where gold comes in. During times of high inflation, like the 1970s or the early 2010s, gold saw huge spikes. Why? Because people were looking to preserve their wealth. So, in 2025, even if inflation starts to moderate, it will still likely stay high enough to keep driving investors toward gold. If inflation stays above 3% or 4%, for example, gold becomes a great way to protect your savings. That means even if your dollar isn't going as far, your gold is still holding its value. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, geopolitical risks. From US-China tensions to the situation in the Middle East, there's always something happening in the world that makes investors nervous. And when people get nervous, they tend to buy gold. Remember the 2019 US-China trade war? Gold prices spiked during that time too, because everyone was freaking out about the potential for global disruption. Fast forward to 2025 and we're still seeing these risks. Whether it's tensions with Russia, the possibility of more trade wars, or even things like Brexit, it all creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is gold's best friend. Gold's appeal during these times is simple. When geopolitical tensions rise, it becomes the go-to investment for risk-averse people. So, if things heat up in 2025, expect more people to park their money in gold as a safe haven. Now the retail demand is a big one. It's not just the big institutions buying gold in 2025. Regular people like you and me are buying it too. Seriously, have you noticed the rise of gold jewelry, gold coins, and even gold-backed ETFs? In countries like India, the UK, and the US, more and more people are turning to gold to protect their wealth, and that's going to keep demand high. Here's a fun fact. In 2024, gold purchases in India jumped by 25%, and a lot of that was driven by people looking to preserve their wealth during uncertain times. The gold market is becoming more accessible than ever, and the rise of digital platforms makes it easier for anyone to buy gold without having to go to a physical store. So the gold market isn't just for billionaires anymore, it's for anyone who wants to secure their financial future. Okay, now let's get techie for a minute. Gold isn't just a shiny thing to put in your vault or wear around your neck. It's actually playing a bigger role in technology too. Green technologies, especially in the renewable energy sector, are using more and more gold in things like solar panels and electric vehicle batteries. Now don't get too excited about this. It's not like gold is going to replace lithium or other industrial metals in a massive way, but it's still something to keep an eye on. As the world goes greener and more tech-driven, there could be incremental growth in industrial demand for gold. And hey, even if it's just a little boost, it's still something to consider when thinking about gold's price in 2025. Alright, so after all of this, what do the experts think about gold's price in 2025? If global recession risks play out, central banks keep buying, inflation remains a concern, and geopolitical tensions keep rising, analysts are predicting gold could exceed $3,000 an ounce. That's a pretty big jump from where we are now. But if everything calms down and the economy improves, some analysts are projecting that gold could average around $2,400 an ounce. Either way, gold is likely to see a steady upward trend in 2025. So, that's your 2025 gold forecast. Whether the world's economies are in the dumps or things are on the up and up, gold is looking like a solid bet for investors who want to protect their wealth. Whether you're in it for the long haul or just keeping an eye on the market, gold is going to be a key player in your investment strategy in 2025. Remember, investing in gold isn't a fast track to riches, it's about smart wealth preservation. As always, do your research, stay informed, and make decisions that make sense for your financial goals. Now, if you found this video valuable and you want to diversify your investments beyond traditional stocks and bonds, I have just the thing for you. Even though I believe that investing in a low-cost index fund is the best long-term investment for the average Joe, the benefits of solid physical gold are hard to deny. I think of physical gold as insurance against unpredictable times, and I'm not the only one. In 2023, central banks added over 1,000 tons of gold to their reserves, the second highest annual purchase in American history. And in 2024, central bank got another 290 tons of gold in just the first 3 months of the year. If the biggest banks in the world are buying tons of gold, I'm sure there's a good reason for it. I found a company that allows ordinary Americans to own and securely store physical bars of gold as part of their IRA account. The best part is that they're giving away a free guide to teach you all about investing in solid physical gold. If you want to learn more about how gold can protect your retirement savings, just click the link in the description to receive a completely free gold IRA guide.